only because think about what Lamar means to this offense. It's similar to Josh Allen, and they ask a lot of Lamar. With his arm, with his legs. He's one of the most explosive, dynamic playmakers. And here's the thing, with Schefter reported 1 to 3 weeks, that sounds, you think, okay, we can deal with that, right? We can make it 1 to 3 weeks. Here's the question. Will he still be affected by the knee after those 3 weeks when he's playing? Because Lamar he gets hit a lot, but it's not necessarily when he's scrambling, right? It's not necessarily the fact that he scrambles is such a detriment to his style of play and to their offense, but because he uses his legs so much, he can't be at 80%. He can't be at 85%. Like, you need healthy Lamar. But if I'm the Ravens, I'm looking at the remaining games. We play the Bengals, we play the Browns, we play the Steelers. Are you scared of the Cleveland Browns? I was just in Houston. Their quarterback didn't score any offense. Their offense didn't score any touchdowns. Are you thinking the Bengals are a team that we cannot beat at all? Well, the Bengals have lost twice to the Browns. Like, they just can't, for whatever reason, can't seem to beat the Cleveland Browns. So I think the Ravens, where they are in the division, there's still enough time. But this has to be a situation where you don't force Lamar back before he's healthy. You have to trust that everything around you can get it done without him, even though he accounts for so much.
Go ahead, Dougie.
I think Kimberly hit it right on the head. I think the Ravens right now, though, are in big trouble. They can't play Lamar until he's healthy, 100%. I think they're in big trouble. They haven't played well for a period of time. They were barely beat the Broncos even without Lamar. They got beat by Jacksonville. Miami walked in there and beat them. They lost to the Giants. They're in huge trouble. And Cincinnati right now is much closer to the Buffalo, Kansas City level in the AFC than the Ravens are. And the Ravens have those 2 games with Pittsburgh. All right? Pittsburgh's a pain in the neck right now. Tomlin's got them playing very, very well. The quarterback's done a nice job. That's a big rivalry. And they have to play at Cincinnati the last game of the year. The Ravens are not going to win the division. The Bengals are going to win the division, which means you're going to need Lamar. You're going to be on the road in the postseason right out of the gate. So I don't think they're winning a championship anyway. He's the key to their future as it is. I don't like where they are even with him. So I think you got to lay low, take your lumps, get to the 5th or 6th seed, and maybe you get him healthy and hot at the end of the year in January. But right now, the Ravens, to me, even with Lamar, are in huge trouble in both the AFC and the AFC North.
I'm not concerned. I'm not concerned because I'm measuring it against the expectations that I originally had. The expectations I originally had is that the Cincinnati Bengals will come on strong and win this division. And you're the Baltimore Ravens, you go in as a wild card. And that's exactly what I believe is going to happen. Let's put this thing in perspective. Lamar Jackson is Lamar Jackson. We understand what he brings to the table. But if the Baltimore Ravens, who have improved defensively because they were getting shredded early in the season and they shored things up in their secondary and they're a little bit better, obviously got some other stuff going on. Here's the reality of the situation, guys. They got 5 games left. 2 are against the Pittsburgh Steelers. 1's against Cleveland. 1's against the Atlanta Falcons. And then you got to close out the season at Cincinnati. You can't win 3 of those next 5 games. You don't deserve to be in the playoffs. Now, I understand that Pittsburgh's playing better, and I get that, okay? And I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, and I like what I'm seeing in terms of the development of Kenny Pickett. It's coming along slowly but surely and what have you. All right, T.J. Watt being back is a big, big deal. Fitzpatrick and those boys, I mean, I get all of it. But what I'm saying to you is this. The Steelers ain't the Steelers of old. The Cleveland Browns, I mean, we saw how rusty Deshaun Watson looked. He'll only get better. But the bottom line is, when you look at Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Atlanta, and Pittsburgh over the next 4 weeks, you should be able to win 2 of those games, 3 of those games, if you're the Baltimore Ravens that we know you to be. It's just that simple. With Huntley. Because I got news for you.
He's good.
That is a quarterback I wish the Pittsburgh Steelers had. Now, I knew they weren't going to get him from the Ravens because the Ravens ain't going to trade within their division and help out their opposition. But the point is, I like Huntley. This brother can play. And I understand that he's a backup, but ladies and gentlemen, watch him play. And don't go by the record. Go by what you see on the football field. He makes plays. He can be a difference maker. Put him around the right people. He can make some things happen. This brother is not a scrub. He can play. And if you are the Baltimore Ravens, coached by a veteran in John Harbaugh, with veteran pieces around him, you should be able to go 3-2 over your next 5 games. Or I'll take one better. How much, if If Lamar Jackson, how long is we expecting him to be down? 2-3 weeks? 2-3 weeks? So you close out the season with Pittsburgh and Cincinnati, or with Atlanta, Pittsburgh, and Cincinnati. You should still win 2 of those games. You should still end up with a minimum of 10 wins on this season. It shouldn't be that big of a problem to me. It really shouldn't. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.